Hello everyone. This is your recap video from the last discussion. My name is Genevieve Francoeur Anderson and I'm going to be the teaching assistant for this course. Sorry I'm starting a little bit late into the semester. It's like third weekend, third unit in. But I was hanging out in the discussion boards and putting my 2 bits in and seeing what you guys were talking about, and it was really a great discussion. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, although I feel like there are so many names in this class that are either familiar from other semesters or you're in the other class that I am a teaching assistant in. So if you've heard this already before, then sorry about that. But my name is Genevieve Francoeur Anderson. I go by Jenna. I'm a teacher of the visually impaired and a certified orientation mobility specialist, dual certified, and I'm in Colorado. I'm also a doctoral student and I am studying deafblindness and behavior. So I'm getting that BCBA and seeing how the behavior world and sensory disabilities kind of meld together. That's my thing. And so I will be providing you guys with a recap video at the end of every discussion unit to talk about what points came up, what points I thought were really important to stress, and to also give you reminders for assignments that are coming up or due dates, or just like right now, reminders for the discussion expectations. So the expectations for the discussion boards go like this. You are expected to make an initial post by Friday. So Saturday's not good, Friday is good. Let's see. Oh, and you also need to reply to your other classmates' post. Because it's a discussion, we need to make sure that we started early and that we're commenting on other people's initial post. That's how the discussion board is set up. So starting this upcoming week, I'm going to have to take some points off for late initial posts, and if you don't post to at least 2 or 3 of your peers. Let's see, what are the points I wanted to bring up? Oh, building rapport. Super important. I think this is the most important thing that we do as teachers is we need to build relationships. There's so many reasons for this. One is that we don't get a good assessment from a kid if we don't really know them. 2, we can't really get the student to show us what they can do if they don't feel like it, if you're not enforcing their strong points, if you're not engaging them to work. I mean, that's a great thing about kids, right? They don't actually have to work if they don't want to. Nobody's paying them. Also, let's see. Oh, and then so when we talked about rapport, there were a lot of people who brought up barriers to rapport, and certainly time is an issue. A lot of times we're assessing that kid that from a different district, out of state, brand new kid, never seen him before. How do we build rapport? How do we get a good assessment if we don't really have the time to build rapport? And I would say we really have to do the very best we can. Certainly, if you've never seen this kid before, starting to build that relationship before you start the assessment is really very important. How we conduct the assessment, so that we're not while we're assessing, we're engaging the student and we're building rapport. So really everything we do with a kid should be fun. And we really have to find a way to build that connection with kids. It's funny because I think some people are really great at this, right? And then some people kind of struggle. I know I do great with some kids, and then other kids I kind of figure like, oh, how am I going to get this kid to like me? How am I going to do this? Especially like middle school boys. I'm like, oh, I don't know. So you have to really figure out what is going to motivate them and what is going to make your time together enjoyable. Because that's really important. We're not going to make progress with the kid. There's actually a lot of studies that have been done that have shown that kids won't make progress if they don't like the teacher. And so I think we don't always need kids to like us. Sometimes they're going to hate us, especially when we're saying, hey, use your vernacular every time you go out. But the time that we spend together should be something that they enjoy doing. So if we're going on a route to Starbucks and they don't like coffee, then are we entertaining ourselves or are we entertaining them? So we really need to ask, well, hey, where would you like to go? What are some things that are important to you? And then you get buy-in. And so you could do that with an initial assessment. If you're going outside, you can say, hey, where would you like to go? Yeah. Let's see. So building rapport, knowing the environment. Great. This is so important. There is no other content area that is dangerous. If I'm teaching algebra and I don't really have a grasp on the class that I'm teaching, if I'm trying something new that I've never tried before and I haven't really worked out all the kinks and it blows up on my face and none of the kids know what I'm talking about, you know what happens? I just try again tomorrow. But if I'm teaching an intersection and I don't really understand the traffic patterns myself, I've put my student in a very dangerous situation. It's a life or death situation. We need to know exactly what we're teaching. Not only do we need to know that in an intersection or that park or the bus route, but we need to know all of the environments we teach and in the lighting situations that our students might be using them in. So if you go to an intersection at 9 o'clock in the morning, the lighting situation is going to be different at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when the kid's trying to walk home, right? The sun might be actually in their eyes and completely blinding them. So knowing your route, so important. It's life or death. Really, really know. And that's why it's important to advocate for that our planning time, for our consult time. Yeah, O&M takes more time than actual the time you spend with the student, a lot more. Let's see. So dual certification came up, and a lot of you are in Colorado, which I am as well, and it's kind of important in Colorado to be dual certified. And let's see, the mentality in Colorado is kind of like teachers need to be the one stop shop for all things blind. That's the kind of the mentality, right? And if you're just a TBI and you're not certified in orientation mobility, everyone's like, what are we going to do with her or him? And that's not the situation in a lot of states. A lot of states recognize that it's two jobs. And if you're trying to do two jobs at the same time, you're more than likely not going to do a great job. So I think it's entirely possible. I know people who are great at both. Truthfully, I think most people are better at one than the other, and I know a lot of people would prefer not to do one or the other. But the districts have kind of asked them or required, pushed them into doing both on their caseload. I think it's really important that we learn to advocate for ourselves and say, I've got this student for orientation mobility and I've got this student for vision hours. I need to make sure that those are very distinct chunks of time. And so if that means that you see a student on Mondays and Thursdays for their vision goal time, and then you come back and see them on Wednesdays for orientation mobility, then you do that. And if you want to save yourself a little bit of travel time, you at least make sure that you've got back-to-back chunks and not we're down 2 TBIs, so I'm going to see this kid for both at the same time. Because does that make sense? So you're trying to combine time, and one, that's really bad practice, and two, that's illegal. and you're also not going to make progress with the kid, and you're doing the child a huge injustice by doubling up like that. Um, so yeah, I think that's all I have. You brought up some really great posts, and I just wanted to say, great job, everyone. Thank you.